Welcome back, champions. Today we enter the world of Nietzsche's views on social hierarchies, where the distinction between the strong and the weak becomes a mirror that reflects our own capacity for greatness. In this journey, we'll uncover the raw truth behind Nietzsche's philosophy, dissecting whether his ideas support the theory of social Darwinism or whether they offer a deeper, more powerful call to rise above our limitations. This is a moment to challenge the weak in ourselves and awaken the strength that lies dormant within each of us. Friedrich Nietzsche was not merely a philosopher, he was a force that sought to break the chains binding the human spirit. His ideas on strength and weakness are not gentle whispers, they are roaring flames, demanding action. This text will take you beyond mere reflection. It will ignite a desire to transform. Nietzsche understood that humanity often drifts between the polarities of strength and weakness, but he did not accept weakness as a fixed state. No, for him, weakness is a choice, and strength is the path of those willing to embrace the struggle, to conquer not only the world, but first, and most importantly, themselves. Nietzsche's philosophy, often misunderstood, is not simply about domination or survival of the fittest in the animalistic sense. To grasp his views on social hierarchies is to understand the true nature of his distinction between the Übermensch, or Overman, and the last man. The Overman represents the embodiment of human potential, the individual who rises above societal norms, mediocrity, and complacency. On the other hand, the last man is the weak, the one who clings to comfort, avoids struggle, and embraces a life of ease, content in mediocrity. But Nietzsche's condemnation of the weak isn't cruelty for its own sake. It's an invitation for us to shatter the barriers we place upon ourselves and become more than what society expects. Nietzsche warns us, "He who fights with monsters should be careful lest he thereby become a monster. And if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you." This is where the distinction between the strong and weak manifests. The strong do not simply overcome external obstacles, they overcome themselves. They look into the abyss, the chaos, the hardship, the darkness within. And rather than surrender, they forge their own meaning, their own path, and rise above it. The weak, however, fall into that abyss, allowing it to define them, to pull them down into despair. Nietzsche's views are not about creating a rigid caste system where the strong rule and the weak submit. Rather, his philosophy is a living call to every individual to rise up, to refuse the chains of complacency, and to build oneself into the person capable of thriving in adversity. His view of strength is not physical, nor is it about exerting power over others. It's about the strength of will, the power of vision, and the discipline of mind. For those who misunderstand Nietzsche, it is easy to draw a parallel between his thoughts and social Darwinism. But to do so is to diminish the depth of his vision. Social Darwinism, an ideology that justifies societal hierarchies through the lens of natural selection, places humanity in the same category as mere beasts. It simplifies life to survival, a contest of brutality. But Nietzsche was not a philosopher of survival. He was a philosopher of overcoming. Where social Darwinism accepts the world as a battlefield for the fittest, Nietzsche's philosophy encourages us to transcend, to ascend beyond mere survival into the realm of creation, where we shape the world, not just endure it. Nietzsche scholar Walter Kaufmann argued that Nietzsche's concept of strength cannot be equated with simple biological success or political dominance. Instead, Kaufmann saw it as a call to personal growth, to challenge oneself relentlessly. It's about standing on the precipice of one's limits and deciding to leap forward into the unknown, into greatness. When Nietzsche speaks of the strong, he's not speaking of those who oppress or control others. The strong are those who rule themselves, who master their own lives, who refuse to let fear dictate their choices. They do not crave power over others. They crave power over their own existence. The weak, by contrast, are not necessarily those who lack physical prowess or social standing. They are those who allow the world to break them, who accept mediocrity and complacency as their fate. As we move forward, there's one more layer to Nietzsche's philosophy that demands our attention: the will to power. This is not a desire for dominance over others, but an insatiable drive to transcend ourselves, to become more than we ever thought possible. The will to power is the force that compels us to push beyond limits, to reject mediocrity, and to continuously evolve. Nietzsche saw this force as fundamental to life itself. It is the essence that fuels the strong, urging them not just to exist, but to create, to shape their own destinies, and to forge meaning in a chaotic world. The weak relinquish this will, allowing themselves to be dictated by external forces, but the strong harness it, bending reality to their vision. This is your call to action. Let the will to power burn brightly within you. Don't settle for what is, but relentlessly pursue what could be. Every moment is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and greater than you were before. Nietzsche challenges us with a vital question. Are you strong enough to choose your own path? Are you brave enough to rise above the limitations that society, circumstance, or even your own mind have placed upon you? The weak seek comfort in conformity. They are content to exist within the safety of the herd. But the strong break away from the herd. They forge their own destiny. They embrace suffering not as a curse, but as a crucible, a means to grow, to sharpen, to become something greater. Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra offers a vivid image of this transformation, the Overman as a goal for humanity, someone who embodies the highest possibilities of human existence. This figure is not born out of privilege or luck, but through a continual process of self-overcoming. Nietzsche writes, "Man is a rope, tied between beast and overman, a rope over an abyss. The strong are those who walk that tightrope, refusing to fall into the abyss, refusing to regress into weakness. They see the abyss, and instead of shrinking back, they walk forward, step by step, into their potential." There is a powerful lesson here, champions, a call that each of us must answer. Nietzsche's view on strength is not limited to the elite few. It is available to all who are willing to pay the price. The price of strength is high. It demands sacrifice, endurance, and a refusal to give in when the world tells you to stop. It is not the path of ease, but it is the only path to true greatness. In our modern society, we are often told to avoid discomfort, to seek pleasure and avoid pain. But Nietzsche reminds us that the road to the highest peaks requires that we first face the harshest trials. It is through struggle that the strong emerge, not from an inherent superiority, but from the choices they make, from the refusal to remain weak. And make no mistake, each of us will face moments where we are called to choose, to rise up or to remain small. Nietzsche introduces the concept of eternal recurrence, a thought experiment that asks you to imagine living the same life over and over again. Every choice, every moment, repeated infinitely. If the idea of living your life in this eternal cycle causes dread, then you are not living as the strong. But for the strong, the idea of eternal recurrence is not terrifying. It is exhilarating. They live their lives in such a way that they would gladly live each moment on repeat, because they are constantly striving for greatness, constantly pushing the boundaries of who they are. So ask yourself, are you living a life worth repeating? If not, what must change? What must be shattered, rebuilt, and reimagined? The path to strength is not found in comfort, but in the willingness to face the truth of your existence head-on and to change it. This is your moment to rise. Seize it. If this message has sparked something within you, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This is your chance to break free of the algorithm's control and choose the content that truly challenges and inspires you. Also, be sure to check out our other videos to deepen your understanding of ancient wisdom and further strengthen your path toward mastery. Until next time, champions, stay strong and stay committed to your path.